All right, enough Classico. Manchester United and Chelsea, a 0-0 draw. Frank Lampard, hey, he gets another clean sheet. Jules, you were there. For those of us watching on television, this was not a very good game. In fact, even your boy Patrice Evra talked about how boring it was. He was doing the job here in England on Sky. Was it that bad?
So I felt I had a different perspective because I was sat really close to the pitch again, and you could hear everything. You could see how intense it was, and it was quite cagey, but very intense cagey, if you see what I mean. So I was really into it. So I didn't find it boring. I didn't find it boring at all being right there in the stadium. But I can see there was not many. Of course, there was not many.
You didn't find it boring. Did you think it was good?
Yeah, I think it was good because
no.
you know what? I liked the Chelsea defensive shape. And I thought
you liked the back three.
Yeah, I thought that worked well. I thought Reece James, and again, seeing it so closely once more, I thought he was fantastic.
What was United's front three?
So yeah, I know. Okay, Daniel James, who you think, should play in non-league. I know that. Marcus Rashford, who centrally,
who's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and had that chance at the end of the first. And on the other side, you had Juan Mata.
Juan Mata, yeah.
No, but listen.
I don't understand the need to change the system to a back three when you're facing that kind of threat. When on the other team also, Paul Pogba's not starting. I don't think you needed to be a super sleuth to figure out that he wasn't going to start. You knew it was going to be Fred, McTominay. So you knew that basically, in terms of creativity from the other team, it was either going to be Mata if he had space and time on the ball. It was going to be Bruno Fernandes, and you've got Conte and Jorginho there to hopefully deal with him. Or it was going to be Rashford creating something on his own, which he did later in the game.
Yeah, and at the end of the first
half. Do you need the back three just so you can have your clean sheet?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole idea, and I spoke to Conte after the game, and Golo said, we really didn't want to concede anything. We didn't want to give them any chances. And maybe even Frank would think at the end, rewatching the game, that they gave United too many chances even.
Yeah, they did.
So in a way,
and they didn't create enough at the other end.
No, yeah, and in the first half especially, Lampard keeps saying to Havertz, "Stay high, Kai, stay high." You could hear him so many times saying, "Stay high," and I guess he's clearly quite attracted by dropping deeper to get the ball, and they were quite deep in that first half anyway. And I just don't know. Like, we didn't see Werner at all. There was at some point Werner came to see Lampard on the side, and he was like, They can't find me. I can't find any space. There's nowhere for me. I don't know. It was really strange going forward. But we saw it against Sevilla. Yeah. It looks like every time they would play with the back five, they would struggle to hit Werner and find Havertz. And if you don't find them, then you're not going to create anything.
It's something you need to work on. They haven't had time to work on it. You have to commit to it, I think, if you're going to do it. I don't think you can ever think of doing it without Thiago Silva. And Thiago Silva's not going to play every game, which is presumably, to me at least, why he's not committed to it yet. Maybe it's one for the future. On the United end, I thought United probably created the better chances.
Yeah.
Mendy making some very good saves to make up for that weirdo pass at the beginning or whatever. But obviously Chelsea are going to point out to the big talking point, which was the Maguire on Azpilicueta. Do you have any rational explanation or?
The rain. It rained a lot. Maybe because of the rain they could not.
At the VAR was.
It was not working. I don't know, because it was blatant. Even from where I was sat, it was blatant.
I don't understand how you can handle something so badly unless you're purposely trying to screw everything up. Right? All you do is you make the referee look doubly bad. Yeah. First of all, the referee should have seen it in full time, in real time. So too. He doesn't do it. Everybody talks about it, and you don't think that the referee might want to see that again.
Yeah.
Whoever VAR, I don't even know. I didn't want to look it up. I outed David Coote last time. I don't know what Muppet was in there this time. But come on, man.
I know, it's quite crazy.
You're undermining the credibility of an entire system. That wasn't the only call, of course, this weekend with VAR. Yeah. But you know that they look at it and they decide, because let's be clear on this, it's not like VAR doesn't look at it. They look at it and then they decide, we don't need to go and alert the referee. From United, no Pogba from the start, and no Donny van de Beek ever.
So Pogba, I understand, at least against Newcastle, I thought, okay, you rest him for PSG. Then PSG, you don't start him, and I thought, okay, you want really aggressive, hard-working midfielder because you're not going to have, okay, I get it. And you bring him on and he helps you winning the game at the end, no problem. But in that game, at Old Trafford, it made no sense to me whatsoever not to play him. It really didn't. And he came on, and Cavani came on at the same time. So when I saw Cavani warming up, my heart started beating. I was like, oh, Edinson, Cavani. And then I really thought, okay, you bring Cavani on, him and Rashford will play up front. You'll have Bruno as a 10. Then you put a midfield 3 behind them 3, with Pogba in his favourite, best Juventus position on the left. And then you have, McTominay sitting, and then Bruno Fernandes, and then Fred on the right. That looks great. I was so excited. And then what? And then Bruno played alongside Fred, so deeper, not Pogba. Pogba played as a 10 behind behind Cavani, and Rashford on the left-hand side. And then Bruno at that time was on the right, and then dropped deeper. And I was like, it made no sense tactically what Solskjaer did. I don't understand. I know they could have won it at the end because Rashford had that good strike and Mendy made the save. But I thought they made a complete mess of bringing Cavani and Pogba on.
Yeah, and there's a Van de Beek issue, I think.
What do you think is the issue? Why is he not in a game like this? Why is he not coming on?
You have 3 creative forces, and especially with no Martial, no Greenwood. I'm all for balance, but at some point, when the other team have basically a back 5, man, go for it. Bring in the people who can go and unlock things. That is the part that I don't fully understand.
Yeah.
And this is why people still ask questions.
Do you think it's because Solskjaer didn't want him? That he's not a Solskjaer signing? That maybe Van der Sar and Ed Woodward or whoever.
I'm not going to go that far, but I'll tell you what. I'm tired about this thing about, this guy wants him. He's his signing. He's this other guy's signing. You're committed. These are the assets you have. Find a way to make it work. Because it's more intimate. You can once again run us through your feelings at seeing Edinson Cavani against Thiago Silva.
I mean, Cavani started warming up at the end of the first half, and he had all the United kit on, and I was like, One, I had a bit of nostalgia because of obviously the PSG years, and I was really happy for him. I think he's great at 33. To join a club like a huge club like this. I don't know how well he will do. I hope he does well. You saw when he came on, there was the first touch on that Bruno Fernandes free kick. That's what he's all about. Then later in the game, Thiago blocks his shot on that cross as well from the right hand side. So I'm really hope he does well. I don't know. It was just like, it was nice to see him after so long. It was nice to see him playing against Thiago Silva. The two, I know you.
Okay, you had your moment.
No,
okay,
no.
That's fine. It's fine.
It was just lovely. I loved it. I love Thiago Silva and I love Edinson Cavani. Anyway.
Going with United now, because I said I had no issue with the Cavani signing. If it's United have the money, despite obviously the big losses that they announce. Obviously they can metabolize that. It is 1 year. You're not stuck into these horrendous. And I just want to make this clear because people have raised the point. Oh, why are you having a go at the signing of James or Aubameyang or Julien, and not Cavani? You closeted red. I'm like, no. It's simply the fact that if it's a 1 year deal, I don't have a problem with it. It's a 1+1, right? You cut him loose after a year if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I have issues when people commit enormous amounts of money in the long term because then you end up with an Ozil situation. We treat Cavani as if he's going to be somebody who plays in certain games, gives him something different. I'm just wondering though, seeing the other issues. Obviously, Greenwood's had issues off the pitch as well, and he's still very, very young, even though he's phenomenal. Martial.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're not convinced?
I wonder why we can't see a front two. Why we can't see a diamond. Why this obsession with wingers from Solskjaer? Apart from the fact that
nothing to do with Martial's talent or level.
No. But I'm saying is because exactly nothing with Martial. But obviously Martial can play wide. Martial can play through the window. You got Martial through the window. Rashford. It seems like they're wedded to this idea, and I heard this a lot during the Mourinho and Van Gaal years and the Moyes years. People have this memory of Manchester United on the break sweeping across. Yeah. United can't be and are not a counter-attacking team. You simply can't be if you're Manchester United. You can play the transition game, you can press high or whatever, But first and foremost, you need to be a team that can generate shots and chances against an opposition that sits.
Yeah.
As I see it.
Yeah.
And that means getting creative, talented midfielders on there. And I think that also means playing with two strikers.
Yeah.
He's never going to do this, is he?
That's why I was really hoping when Cavani came on for the last half hour. Okay, he's going to do it. Great. Let's see. I think you need to try it. You need to check it to see. And then no, Rashford went back on the left-hand side. I'm not sure he was really happy to go on the left-hand side either. He'd been kicked quite a lot through the game, to be fair. But I don't know. Try. You've got Bruno Fernandes, who's perfect in that free role behind one or two strikers. Use him. You've got Pogba then, who you know is going to be much happier in that midfield three as well.
And Van de Beek too. But
and Van de Beek can play there. Even it would make so much sense to try that 4-4-2 with the diamond midfield.
And if you're as much of a Mataholic as I am, you also have Juan Mata, who of course has also played there.
It makes a lot of sense.
I don't see this combination. So from a team that maybe should be playing with two strikers but won't, to a team that seems intent on playing with no strikers when Kai Havertz plays as a false nine. Do you get this? Do you understand this when you've got Abraham and Giroud? To me, we talked earlier about going to the front, going to the back three.
Yeah.
Havertz as a false nine works, and I've said this before. If he has a lot of players around him, if you have a team that's playing high up the pitch, he can shield the ball, he can play the 1-2, he can get a shot off. When he's a false nine and he has to drop off to go and get the ball, it doesn't work. He's not that kind of player.
No, I can see why you could try it, because then you could have Werner and Pulisic and all their pace making that run in behind, and then you use your first number 9 to free all that space and having them running, and it's great.
Well, then play him in go the whole hog. Then play him in the hole and play those two guys as a front two.
Yeah, or something like that. But or if that's your idea, at least try it. But on Saturday they didn't try it at all. There was none of that. They never really tried to play in behind the United back line. There was never, like I said before, that Werner, they could not find him. And Pulisic in the end had to do things by himself and on his own, and it just never worked. So I don't know if, I still think that Havertz's best position is behind Timo Werner, for example, if he's your striker. But then you have to play him, you have to feed him a lot, and that's not what they do.
I think there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, they still haven't found the right formula, but they've played a few games already now. They played 10 games in all competition, something like that. Yeah, 8 or 9. They should not be better than us still questioning why they haven't really improved going forward.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.